All right. Hey guys, Michelle's here. Let's talk about the music. Alrighty, I am celebrating 11 years that Let's Talk About Music has been part of my journey. Okay, so I started playing it in 2014. Went on the air as of December 23rd, 2015, and thanks to Speaker.com, and now on moving forward as of January 6th, Let's Talk Music is now on the radio. That's what I've been working on for quite some time for this compliment, and it's finally getting to happen. So I'm excited for the journey. I have a birthday cupcake for Let's Talk About the Music. And what's going to happen after this whole thing is that I'm going to show you the um, the very first test run of Let's Talk About the Music on the airways, thanks to 81 The Burg. And it was myself and Aleisha, and we were from Heart of Ale. If anyone remembers Heart of Ale at all, the amazing band. And Aleisha and I were talking about moving forward onto the podcast, onto the project of yourselves. So she's moving forward, I'm moving forward, everybody is moving forward. Mm. All right, so I want to take the chance to say thanks to everyone who supported me and had my back, and those who didn't support me. And yeah, so going into 2026, the podcast is now a radio talk show thanks to 81 The Berg. I'm actually excited, and my microphone is not there. Yeah. And also, let you guys know that even though Let's Talk About the Music is going to be on the airwave, um, off the mic, LTA off the mic, will stay as a podcast on YouTube and social media. And also, the blogs will continue being a music review as well. I have an idea I want to do with music review, but that's going to have to be postponed a little bit longer until I figure out this whole talk show thing. So I'm really excited about it. Okay. Alrighty. What else? I don't know what else to say, but yeah, 11 years of everything. I'm going to show you guys some posters that I designed beginning of Let's Talk About the Music until recently. Okay. So 11 years, man. 11 years putting this project together. Thanks again to Green River College and everyone who believed in me. And here's for 11 more years. Okay. All righty. So, further ado, here is season 2, episode 1 with myself, Aleisha. Moving forward, let's talk about music because the music is everywhere. Enjoy. 11 years.
Hello, 81 The Berg. I think this is live. I am Shells of Let's Talk About the Music. Let me tell you a little story about this talk show. I started this show literally 11 years ago on December 23rd, 2015, on an ideal to give independent musicians and the independent musician industry a talk show to talk about their music. They can talk about what they want to talk about. They can talk about music. They can even choose their topic. And then I went to school to learn how to do this properly at a radio station called KGRG-FM. And then I came to Ellensburg to get my bachelor's degree, and 81 The Berg welcomes this legacy of a show I've been working my butt off to make. Thank you, Ellensburg, for making this happen. I'm getting shivers. And so, in further ado, I have one of my musicians who's been part of the show. Not yet. Part of the show, forever since the show has started. So we're gonna meet her in just a minute, but we need to play the theme song that was produced by an indie musician from New York City, Papa Satch. Here is my theme song. I'm gonna start crying now. Oh, I didn't hit the button yet. Oh, I hit the button. Button stop button. I did it a little bit. There we go.
music. Let's talk about the band. Let's talk about the music. Let's talk about the sound. Let's talk about the music. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the music. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the music. All around. Let's talk about it.
Shells here. Like again, that was the theme song written by Papa Satch out there in New York City. He's an independent musician. So we have my good friend Aleisha here. And we are going to talk about moving forward. Aleisha, tell everybody about yourself.
My name is Aleisha. I was part of a band called Heart of Vale, and that's how we met Shells years ago. And she came out to a show, and we connected with her, and she came out to a few shows, and her and I stayed connected even after the band did what bands do, broke apart, and continued to follow each other's journey.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've been part of this whole thing since probably the beginning of the whole project.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now the show we're going to be doing the segment is called Moving Forward. Every musician does it, moving forward one project to one thing. So how are you able to move forward with all your projects? Because I watched you grow a lot throughout the years. So tell people how you have grown.
So at first I was doing some independent shows with the piano and vocals, which I'd always wanted to do, and worked with some of the acoustical musicians around Spokane. And then I had a surprise and got pregnant and had a baby. So who's now 4 years old. I moved to Maine 2 years ago, started my own coffee shop called Rhythmic Roasts, and won Best Coffee Shop 2 years in a row in Maine. And then, thank you very much. I also got super healthy and did a bodybuilding competition and won my, I forget what it's called, category. And then about a month and a half ago, we moved back to Washington over on the west side. So I now live in Battleground, Washington, and I'm kind of figuring out what I want to do from here, if I want to go back with the music route or what I'm going to do. So that's
cool. All right. So if there's any musicians or anyone in your situation moving forward, what is your major inspiration that you want to tell people? I mean, what was the movement that get you to moving forward, to reinvent yourself, to not stuck in where you were at?
Right. Well, I'd like to go back to playing acoustical shows again. I really enjoyed doing that. And also helping out radio stations and doing that kind of stuff. I might host some trivias, and I don't know. I really don't know where I want to be right now. I know that there's a lot of doors open and I have a lot of people here. So kind of just waiting to see what happens. I've started composing again, which is nice because I haven't been able to. So started writing some pieces, and that's where I'm at right now.
Cool. All right. So moving forward is the name of this topic that we are discussing. There are so many things that people can do to move forward. They can be, in a rut or find ways to move forward. And is there, I don't know what else I can elaborate by moving forward, because I'm kind of nervous. So
deep breaths.
Right. Now, let's talk about the music. I know, right? How Let's Talk About the Music actually move forward is just like stuck with the goals. The goals and stick what I wanted to accomplish with this on this well, not a podcast anymore. It's a talk show. And so you got to just keep moving one step forward over. So with the goals that you had from your past to your own coffee shop, what kind of goals did you set to make all this happen?
So I had always wanted to own a coffee shop in Maine since I was 11 years old. And so when I moved to Maine, I decided I wanted to incorporate music into trying to make that happen. So I did things like singing coffee grams, and I would sing to people. I did some karaoke out there, and just worked every day towards, you know, making that dream happen. Every job I had was to work towards opening my own coffee shop.
Mm-hmm.
So my future goal is to own a coffee music venue, to be able to feature local artists and have podcasts on it, and have a place where people can play live music and have art on the walls. Like, that is my next goal and step of what I want to work towards. And then probably release a independent album as well too. I did do a little EP with a local violinist that I released
Nice.
last year, and that was a lot of fun because I'd always wanted to play with violinists, so we did the piano and violin together, and yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Awesome. Cool. All right. So, who do you want to work with as you move forward with your music journey? Is there anybody alive? I don't want to go anywhere dead because they're already gone. Who would you want to work with?
Like, big dreams wise,
Big. Go big. Go big or go home.
I mean, Amy Lee is my big hero, and watching her come back out after she had a baby and now she's out touring again and working with all these artists, I would love to work with her. But locally, I've seen a lot of really good female artists out there that I would love to start getting that going again, because one of the things that I really liked doing was having all females of rock shows. That was a really cool thing to do, because it's not easy to be a girl in rock.
No, it's
It's
not.
about the way you look, and it should be about your music. And
Right.
so I really enjoyed working with other hard rock women who we fought hard to belong there, and
Right.
prove that we're here, not just because of the way we look, but because we can work and be just as tough as the boys can be. So
Oh,
I would love
absolutely.
to be a part of that again.
Right. The women that I have grown to enjoy listening to and become friends with was Megan Story and also Sunny. Those
Yeah.
guys are amazing. So see if you can able to get a hold of them and see, because they're doing amazing things as well. Trying
Yeah.
to network here.
Yeah, I
So
appreciate
you're
it.
very welcome.
Throwing myself out there. I'm back out there again. What you got for me? I'll do it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so I know they have done a few shows in the past to bring out the women in music as well. So they're very, very aspiration to bring out women in the music industry. It's not just rock; it's also what they play,
Yeah.
and basically just bring that out in the open, really. And
Yeah.
I'm all for power women, Or,
Hell yeah. And it doesn't just have to be rock, there's a lot of, in the acoustic scene, there was so much talent and a lot less egos. So that was a lot of fun to.
who inspired you to be a solo or be a singer at all?
My grandfather.
Oh
I
yeah.
came from a family of musicians. My grandfather played guitar and sang, and I used to sing along with him. My grandma was part of a trio called the Country Cousins. My mom was a singer. I had wanted to go to Juilliard and do Broadway. So it's just kind of been something that I've always. And growing up, my inspirations were like Whitney Houston and Mariah Carey.
Mm-hmm.
And, later on in the grunge, No Doubt and Cranberries and, those kind of things.
Pretty cool. Really awesome. All right, and so I'm kind of think of other questions to think about. As you're moving forward with your career cover thing, bringing music in, do you write your own music, and where do you get that inspiration to write your own music? What do you put into your music?
So I do write my own music. Generally, I write the best music when I'm super depressed, because it's like a, journal session that you get out, and you can portray your emotions a lot better. I don't write very good music when I'm happy. I've tried. So, the last 2 years I was super happy, so I couldn't really compose. And then I came back and I was all depressed. And so I've started writing again. So that's kind of what inspires me, things around me, things going on in the world, what I see, the people I meet. And then sometimes I'll just hear melodies in my head and they're just there, and I'll, like right now, the piece I'm composing, I have a couple pages of music that are just sitting there waiting to form into a song. So
Nice. All right. So, let's go back from when I first met you, Heart of Veil. So
yeah.
that was your band that you put together. So how did you go about putting that band together?
So I had studied music in college and learned how to compose. And over the years, I had met different musicians. And Greg and I actually met on MySpace. And we had listened to each other's music, and I was on, some radio stations, and we met up and jived really well, and connected musically really well, and tried to write some pieces, and we really liked it. But he wasn't really ready to do the thing. So I worked with some other bands, and then I got offered this opportunity to play the Knitting Factory in Spokane. And so I pieced together my favorite musicians that I had played with over the years and put them together into a band. And then we took some of the pieces Greg and I had wrote together. And then from there, it just kind of evolved. We went through a lot of different members, but Greg and I were always the founding members, because he wrote the musical parts and I wrote the lyrics and my melody. And then we recorded together. And that's, so we just worked with a bunch. And then later on, we added Mick and different drummers. So yeah.
And the one thing that you did, since you couldn't find a drummer towards the end, you had a machine.
We did.
How did that work out?
It actually worked really well. So it's really hard to find a drummer, and a drummer that's committed. And I had already booked a 6-week tour when the drummer had backed out. So we used click tracks, and we each had in-ears so that we could hear that perfectly. And it seemed to work really well because we knew the song so well and had practiced and were so in tune to each other. It was fine. And it was just one less member to have to worry about.
Right. So. Yeah. And so how long did you guys have that machine going?
Oh gosh. So we did the 6-week tour. I think we had that for about a year. We used that before we went our separate ways.
Okay. All right.
Before that, we had drummers. I think Heart of Veil was a band for 4 or 5 years.
Okay. Oh yeah, you guys were going for a while.
Yeah, and Greg and I did our own thing for like 10 years because we had composed music long before we had formed a band. So.
Right. All right. Cool. Now, after Heart of Veil disband, what did you do after that?
I was working with Nightlife Network, Zach and Monique Flannery, and I was doing a podcast with another local musician. And then I also was writing and composing my own music, and I was playing piano and singing, and I did some gigs that way before the world shut down. So I did that for about 2 years. And then when everything, went to shit, I just stopped for a while. I kind of lost music during that time, so it's just started coming back again. So
right. And then after that, you went off to Maine.
Right. And Maine was kind of a way to start over and reinvent who I was. I wasn't just a musician. I wasn't just, because that had been my whole identity since college, was being a musician. And I wanted to see if there was other things that I could do and that I would be good at. And so when I came to Maine, I didn't tell anyone what I had done, the lifestyle I had lived, the LA and all of that stuff. I just kept it under wraps until right before I left and just reinvented who I was. And it was pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, I totally hear you. I hear you because I went down the path. I put the show on the hold for like 6 years, not meant to be gone that long. And I basically I went to therapy to reinvent myself in my head and able to do this, the way I can do it and not worry about things I did in the past. Because your past is not, what they say on a lot is that your past is not a prison, it's just a self-taught, is your self-learning as you go. You don't really stay where you are. It's your learning. It's your journey. That's the word I want to think of. It's your journey. You're not just going to stay in one spot. You have to learn as you go. And
Right.
that's
And a
why
lot of
you,
people stay back
yeah,
and they don't move forward ever, and they're stuck in their past and they can't go forward.
right. And they get so angry where they want to lash out on every people and
Yeah.
drag them down and not realize, hey, you're not there anymore. You need to move forward, move on with your life and not stay put.
Right.
Everything grows.
Right.
So, yeah. So,
Yeah, and that's kind of what Maine was for me. It was a way to, because Heart of Ale was my entire life and identity, and I put everything into it. And so when I lost that, it was absolutely devastating, And so I had to figure out, well, who am I? Who am I without this? And Maine really helped me like figure that out, gain confidence in who I was without anyone else, without anything else. And now I can come back a different person. And it was hard to come back because I don't want to fall into those same routines that I was in before. I want to stay that person I found.
oh, I totally,
You know,
100%
I know you
because,
get.
yeah, I would totally 100% because I spent, 6 years reinventing myself, getting what my friend Allie likes to say, the noodle together,
Right.
and so just, putting myself, just stuck. Because when I stopped the show for a while, I didn't know who I was without the show. I get
Right.
you completely. This is like my life work right here.
Right.
So
Right.
me going back to college and trying to figure out what I am doing here, it was an eye opener. Like, oh my gosh, I was completely lost for a while, and then
Right.
I took the journey to come out here to Ellensburg to start over again. Even though a lot of people do know me, but here at Ellensburg they don't know me, and I want
Right.
to kind of like it that way. They get to know the new me that I reinvented myself.
Right.
So with you coming back over here, how are you going to show people how much you have changed and how you reinvented yourself? A tough question, huh?
It is a tough question. Um, I think one of the best things I can do is compose some music that really shows like who I am now, and continue down the journey I discovered in Maine. I'm a runner now, so I do that. So I've joined a bunch of running groups, and I intend on doing bodybuilding competitions again. So
Oh,
I train
good.
constantly, and I'm trying to keep that mindset um, of we're going forward, not backwards, because it
Right.
is a difficult thing to get yourself to keep going. So I'm trying to figure out, okay, what are my goals now? Because I knew what my goals were back then. I knew what my goals were in Maine, and now I need to figure out what are my goals here, and I'm still kind of trying to figure out what that is, you know.
Right, right. 100% agree. I'm right there with you, girl. So let's talk about your weight training. You want to talk about that for a second? How
Sure.
so you decided to work out and weight train. What gave you the motivation to do all that stuff? Because I've been trying for a while to get into this. I don't know what to do with this. It's like, oh my gosh. So what motivated you? What started it?
So I had always embraced, I'm a curvy girl, right? Like I just am. No matter how small I am, I've got a butt, I've got hips, I'm not a skinny girl. But I kind of let my health go in order to take care of other people. And I realized that when I went to Maine, and I was embarrassed. And a group of marathon runners came to visit me, and they took a picture with me. And I was absolutely horrified and was like, I don't want to be the fat one in the group anymore. I just don't want that. And so the next day, I called the personal trainer that I had met, and I had never hired a personal trainer before because I don't want workout Barbie. I don't want some blonde girl who's never struggled, who, is this perfect little thing. I want someone like me. And I picked this badass who is 5 foot tall, covered in tattoos, and just tough, like military tough. And I told her my goals and what I wanted and my struggles. And then I told her my secret dream of always doing a bodybuilding competition. And so we set up a workout plan and we set out a eating plan, and she can see everything I eat. She sees all my workouts, and I worked really hard at doing that and just completely changed my mindset of this isn't a diet, it's a lifestyle change. And plus the idea of putting on a tiny bikini in front of everybody. So it was very inspiring on the days, you know, because bodybuilding is very hard. It's not easy. It's really hard, especially as you get into a cut. And when it got towards the end, I ended up losing 76 pounds in 10 months. And I've kept along that path. Yeah, I put a little bit back on coming back because, you know, I don't have a job, but I'm still maintaining my apartment has a gym and all of that. And I'm training for a half marathon and working on my goals still. So yeah, it's a lot of work. It's an everyday mental thing. And, you know, losing weight isn't just physical. It's also mental. It's dealing with this shit too. And so it's been a lot of that. So my coach isn't just a fitness coach. She also is like a life coach for me. So.
Do me a favor.
But.
Stop swearing on the air.
Oh, sorry.
I was like, oh my God. I even texted like, stop doing it. And then
Oops.
Yeah, no, we're used to being on the air, on the internet. We don't have to worry about that kind of stuff. So yeah. Musicians, you didn't come on the show, no swearing.
Hey, cool. I'll keep it.
Yes.
Sorry.
You're good. Alrighty. So good. I'm happy that you able to run that marathon. Did you run that marathon? I saw you on Facebook now, or is it coming up?
I have a half marathon coming up. I was training for a triathlon, but my health kind of took a turn. So a week before it, I couldn't do it. So then I decided to take on a half marathon. So I've been training for that. And that's in February in Vancouver. Good. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Vancouver. Okay, cool. All right. Mm-hmm. So now, even though you say you're looking for a new job here, are you looking maybe to open another business like out there in Maine, or are you looking for different ventures? What is your goal? What do you think you're going to probably look into here that you're back on this side?
I'm not sure. Honestly, I think that over here, coffee is oversaturated. Over in Maine, it was, you know, there's nothing but Dunkin'. So it wasn't hard to bring the idea of Washington coffee over there. And I featured local products that were from a lot of times other women-owned businesses or small businesses, and worked with other businesses and did a lot of volunteer work and all of that over there. But here it's different because over there it's very family and community minded. And in a bigger area, it's a little harder to do that. So I'm not really sure what I want to do that wise. I'm looking at getting back into, I don't know if you know, I worked in healthcare for a while, Alzheimer's and dementia. So I'm looking at maybe getting back into that and doing music therapy. Because music is a huge thing for.
Ooh, so you know music theory.
I do.
I've been wanting to do a talk show on that forever. So let's go into it right now. So what is music theory? What is that all about? I am curious.
Music therapy?
Yeah.
So with Alzheimer's and dementia, music is one of the last things to go with that. It literally takes pieces of your brain away. And one of our first formative memories is music, because that's your mom sings to you, you rock them. So that helps stir up memories and help them recall, like when they become nonverbal, they can still remember music. So that helps them still feel connected to the world.
Okay.
So that's what it does, is it a lot of times, you know, the different stages of dementia, there's different levels of it, and they lose speech, they lose memories of things. But if you sing songs that they grew up with, like World War II songs, they can hum along and feel that. So,
that's kind
of cool. A lot of that. It's a lot. It's awesome. It's really great, and it's a great way to connect with people and really watch what music can do when it's used not selfishly. Do you know what I mean? That it's for other people.
And so basically, it helps people to remember who they were back then.
It triggers memories. So Alzheimer's and dementia literally dementia takes parts of your brain. It literally takes parts of your brain away. It's just gone. And the pieces that stay are those very first formative memories, and music is a formative memory that sticks with you. So when everything else is gone, music will stay with you. So it can help. And when they're sitting and lost, and they just don't know where they are, and music can bring them back and ground them.
I never really thought about that thing. Thank you. That was pretty cool. Yeah, grounding. Grounding's a good thing. Yeah. Okay. Do I need to take a break or anything? Because I'm kind of late on it. All right, so let's take a small break, and I will be back with more Aleisha on the Let's Talk About the Music. 81 in the Burg. This is Let's Talk About the Music, the very first broadcast live as a radio show and not a podcast. And I am on here with my very good friend, Aleisha, who is a lead singer, or was a lead singer for Heart of Veil, been in the music industry for quite some time. And we're having a conversation about moving forward, music theory, and what's next for everybody else who wants to move forward. So, is there anything that you want to talk about on this topic? I'm gonna start asking you questions. So, what is exactly you want to elaborate to people that may be having a hard time moving forward?
To, feel a lot of times bands break up, right? And it's been your whole life, and it's really hard because you've put everything into it and you've worked your butt off, and you don't know what to do anymore, and your identity was wrapped up in that. And my advice is feel it, grieve it, and then figure out what you're going to do from there, because you aren't just defined by one thing. There are other things you can do. And if music is really where you want to be, then music will always be there. There are all kinds of outlets and forms you can do. There's podcasts, there's, like I did the music therapy, there's independent music, there's other bands, there's all kinds of ways you can keep going. Music will always be there. You do not have to just do the big lifestyle. It's fun. It's tons of fun, but it's also a lot of work. And there are other ways you can stay in the industry, and make sure and take care of your mental health, because artists and musicians, we tend to err on the side of depression and mental health issues, and we don't really talk about it, and we use music as a way to get through it. So, yeah, it is. And it's a great way to connect with people, because it's something that people don't really want to talk about, which we know that. After I had my baby, I had such bad postpartum, and nobody talked about that kind of stuff. So talk with people, or write it down, or get it out, or use music as a way to get that out. Don't just sit in your head, because it's really easy to go down that rabbit hole. And yeah.
And you can. I'm all for it. Going and get therapy. I'm all for it. Therapy helped me out. Go for it.
Yep. Yeah. Therapy, drugs, whatever you need to make it legal drugs, I should say.
Because then you elaborate that.
Yes, I'm not saying don't self-medicate.
Right.
Go see a doctor.
And make sure you talk to someone about what's going on with you. Everything's going to be okay.
And remember to take care of yourself,
Yeah, absolutely.
You are important too. You are valuable too. You are a wonderful person. And if you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anyone else.
Right, so. Right. I remember going to therapy, and one of my therapists says that, you know what, stop going to the shows and working and enjoy the show. That was the most hardest thing in my entire life, was to not stream you guys and promote you guys, because I'm all about you guys. You guys are what built Let's Talk About the Music. You guys are the one that helped me bring this show alive. So me doing this is basically me saying thank you for all your blessings you gave me. So
Right.
having him telling me I needed to stop for a while was the hardest thing in my entire life. I remember seeing Juliet on stage, who used to be the lead singer for the Prince tribute band. We call him the Little Prince. He's no longer with us anymore, but he knew I wasn't supposed to work, and he'll be on stage, all streaming live, and he'll be so going, "Show, stop working." And so I was blessed with you guys, keeping me on my toes and making sure that I did stay on that path. And then when I stopped the show for a little while, you guys were honestly, "You're going to be okay." I did not feel I was going to be okay. I thought I was losing my mind
Right.
until I got over that hump. And I found myself a really good therapist to get me over that hump. And here we are now, you know?
Right. Remember to enjoy that. Like in music, we can enjoy each other's music. We don't have to compete with each other constantly. That's something
No.
that, I see a lot. And it's like, you can appreciate other people's music without being a jerk, without seeing them as competition. And you can just go and support them. It
Right.
doesn't have to be work. It can just be, even if it's once a week or once a month, go see a show just for fun, not to network or anything like that. If you network, great. That's awesome. It's a great way to do it. But remember to enjoy too, and why you got into this, because it's really easy to get music burnout as well. That's what happened to me, is I got so burnt out of all the technical parts of music, of managing and running it and booking and being available 24/7. And I forgot to take care of myself. I was so busy trying to take care of my members and my band, I forgot that I was important too, and it's really easy to do that, especially when you're an independent musician, because no one's doing it for you. You're doing it for yourself.
Right.
So
Right.
same
Yeah.
with the show.
Yeah, I get it. I was completely burnt out too about 4 years ago when I was working on this, and things led to another. Not gonna go in that direction, but I was completely burnt out, and I needed a change. And well, here we are, the change. But I feel you. It is a burnout, and it is a lot. It's not really your passion for what you want to do with this. You are passion that you want to share your journey with you with a song or a podcast or any creativity outlet. You know what I mean? You want
Yeah.
to share that journey with any way you possibly can, no matter how difficult it is.
Right. Anything worth having is work.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like if it seems too easy, it probably is.
Right.
It's going to be work. There is no magic person waiting to sign you. There is no magic radio station waiting to take you on. You put in the work.
You gotta
put in
work
the
to get to a dream. I mean, I remember my nephew back in the day. He wanted to be just like Enemy. Enemy, is that saying a name? Anyway, he wanted to be just like him. I go, nephew, you have to, Christopher, you have to like work at it. And at the time, I actually knew a lot of promoters, and there's open mics. I was able to get him on a stage, and I go, if you want to try it, come on down to Seattle. I got pretty promoters who will put you on open mic. He never showed up. I guess he had like two other guys who want to work with him, and he kept dragging. Well, he's like his aunt. I drag my feet also until I have to. Okay, let's do it. So it's a lot of work. I mean, again, guys,
you have to start at the bottom.
You
Everyone has to start at the bottom and work your way up. And there's no guarantee you're going to get to that magical level that only 2% of people do. So
right.
make sure you have a plan B.
Mm-hmm.
You won't make a lot of money, so make sure that what you do to make money maybe is part of this, so
right.
I think there's a lot of that where people just think that they're going to go out and be discovered, and it's like, no, you have to put in the work. And you start with open mics, and you start with meeting people, and you go to other people's shows, and you help promote other people's shows, and you work with bands, and you don't have a high ego of I'm so much better, and that no one's going to want to work with you if you think you're too good for that.
Right.
We
Absolutely.
all started somewhere. I started way at the bottom before I got to do all the stuff I did, and I worked my butt off to get to where I was.
Yep. I think if you really believe in what you produce and what you're doing, it is a lot of work and it's a lot of passion. I'm gonna go back to a passion. If you don't have the
And
passion,
sacrifice.
huh?
And sacrifice. It's a lot of
Yeah,
sacrifice.
Oh yeah, sacrifices. Ooh, don't tell me go to sacrifices. But yeah, I get it. I mean, it's a lot. So, okay. Do I need to start wrapping it up now a little bit? Okay, all right. So the one thing I am going to keep from the original show is they're putting me on the hot seat, where I turn this show. Oh, you're clapping. Turn the show around where you get to ask me one question.
Okay.
All right.
Shells, what
Yes,
is your
ma'am.
big picture of what you want Let's Talk About the Music to be? Like, say, 5-year goal. Where do you see yourself? If anything could happen.
I would love to have this show on a professional radio station. That's where I want to go with this thing. If it's possible, that's what I want to go.
I like it.
Yeah, that's been the goal for 11 years, and that's where I want to go to. I have a station I want to go to, but I'll know they'll pick me. So
you create your own station.
I have done that already too. Yeah. Maybe I will do it again. You never know. Yeah,
That's what I learned when people didn't want me. I opened the door myself.
Yeah,
I just did it myself.
Yeah, I did make LTATM radio once upon a time. I had to shut it down because I didn't have the money to keep it going. So I did do that. So yeah, maybe I'll do it again. You never know.
Dream big, girl.
Yeah.
Dream big.
All right, guys. So this is going to wrap up my very first show on 81 The Burg. Thank you for having me here. I will be back on January 6th from 9 to 10 p.m. regular spot. And I do have a guest who will showing up. They're a band from California called Adson. And they're now, they're now a 4-piece.
Really?
Yes, they're a 4-piece. They're working with Rock Mama down there in California. So they're going to be on the show, and the show is going to be that topic. Going to talk about something AI or something like that. So we'll talk more about it in a couple of weeks. So again, guys, thanks for showing up, and I'll tell you guys later. Let's talk about the music. And music is everywhere. Bye bye. Thanks for listening to Let's Talk About the Music. I hope you enjoyed today's topic. Remember, the show is more than just a podcast. It's a multimedia experience. You can enjoy the content as a blog, a both audio and visual format, or stay tuned to connect with other conversation. If you like what you hear, don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit that subscribe button. As that way you'll never miss an episode. Also, be sure to sign up for our newsletter for our latest update and exclusive content. Until next time, grab your headphones or tune in visually, and let's keep that music journey together. Let's talk music, because the music is everywhere.